It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright.
Hello, Inferno Tidris here, back with another challenge run video. Now, the last challenge run that we did was, can we beat Fallout 3 with only the 10mm pistol variants? This one we're going to do with only the BB gun. Now, the BB gun is definitely probably one of the weakest weapons in the game, only having a max damage of 4 and only a critical damage of 4. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be a very tough run to do, but without further ado, let's get into it. Now, we did start off loading into the save file that we used for the 10mm pistol run. After which, we immediately went and tried to take on Silver to get the extra caps that she actually owes Moriarty. As you can tell, this was a definite hassle of a fight, as our gun right now only does 2 damage, which is definitely unfortunate. After which, we headed straight to Megaton, talked to Lucas Sims, and actually discussed about the bomb, as we are going to actually disarm it in this run. We actually managed to speak him up to give us 500 caps. After disarming the bomb, we immediately head back up to speak to Lucas Sims to claim our rewards, as we will be receiving the Megaton key and, well, the caps. After which, we leveled up, immediately putting our points into speech and grabbing the Daddy's Boy perk. We headed to Mario Brown and actually sold all of our stuff that we have collected along the way and purchasing the armored Vault 101 suit. After which, we headed straight towards Jefferson Memorial and Rivet City, as we are trying to mark it on the map at this point. Now, I will state that this challenge run idea did come from Nurbit, as he did this challenge run in Fallout New Vegas. So, to give fellow content creator support, I will be listing his video in the description below. Make sure you guys actually do go watch that video. It was quite entertaining and very fun to watch. After which, we head straight to Flak and Shrapnel to sell off all of our goodies that we have required along the way, and to buy some more BB guns and BBs, as we are definitely going to be needing this for the rest of this challenge run. After which, we headed back to Megaton and started heading towards Tenpenny Tower. We ran into a group of raiders and actually were struggling taking them on. I tried to use the terrain as maneuverable ability, but unfortunately I kept getting clipped on it. And their weapons are definitely doing far more damage than ours. As you can tell, when we go to do VATS, we're actually only able to do 2 shots per VATS when our AP is full, which definitely does suck. Our weapon is still doing only 2 damage, and it won't be doing 4 until later on. Sadly, I actually don't even think we reached up to 4 damage. Throughout this run, we will be doing a lot of running around. We immediately headed to Tenpenny Tower to trade and buy supplies from Chief Gustavo, as, well, he has a good chance to have a lot of BBs that we are actually needing for this challenge run. You guys will notice though, sometime near it, I actually stopped fighting. I'm not even gonna lie, because when I had the followers be able to help out that we have to have, I took it. We head to Smith to Casey's garage to immediately start gathering up supplies and take out the enemies inside. Now this is where I realized how weak the BB gun is, as even with the mole rats, we were struggling to take them out, as it was taking just a lot of shots and we were taking too much damage, as throughout the challenge run, we just wore the Armored Vault 101 suit. Did not change our armor at all. I will note that. After killing the first two and gathering up their meat, we still searched around to grab more items to make sure we had everything so we could sell and get more caps so we have more healing supplies and, well, BBs. After freeing Dad, we immediately headed over to Project Purity just to get this part taken care of. As you could tell, I was very cautious about the super mutants, as, well, this fight is obviously sped up, but it took us literally like 10 minutes just to kill one super mutant. It was such a pain. It was definitely a tough challenge run to do. Trying to use the wall as covered so I can reload, shoot him, and then recharge my AP so I can do more pop shots at him. I made sure to gather up his materials just so I could sell them off. We clear out the super mutants and headed straight outside to talk to Dad, after which we headed to Flat and Shrapnels to sell off all of our goodies that we have acquired. After which we headed back and started doing the missions, and we did find this in the tunnels. A super mutant spawned in the tunnel, which I thought was definitely something crazy. It just made the purification missions so much longer than what they needed to be. After doing all that, we managed to get into the sewer, made it all the way to the end, and realized Dr. Lee was not with us. After going back, we managed to find her taking on the Enclave soldiers. We did try to help her out as much as we possibly could, and eventually she picked up a laser rifle and made herself even more useful, helping us out with them. Dr. Lee just kept going unconscious as she was trying to take them on with just the knife. After a bit, when she did pick up the weapon, we definitely made a lot more progress. After finally taking out the last Enclave soldier, she finally spoke to us, and we headed back into the tunnels, heading straight to Sanctuary. When we reached Sanctuary, we leveled up and immediately put all of our points into speech, just so that way we have enough speech for when we have to talk to the kids at Little Lamplight. It was to a long dialogue between Elder Lyons and Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee still holding the laser rifle. Looks intimidating. After a long dialogue, we immediately headed over to talk to Rothschild, as he will be able to open up the fact that we can go to Vault 87. Heading over to the terminal and, well, taking a moment to breathe. After making it to the terminal and getting the information that we needed, we headed straight to Smith and Casey's garage. as that will help us get to Little Lamplight. We've talked to Mayor McCready and actually had the child at heart perk. He thought we were funny and, well, allow us to come in. After entering the town, we talked to him and actually tried to get him to allow us into Murder Pass. After a little bit, he did eventually allow us there. Knowing I would get lost, I did follow him to Murder Pass as I did not want to deal with that hassle of getting lost in this town, even though it's not that confusing. After entering into Murder Pass, we immediately headed into the vault just to get going. Now, you'll notice that throughout this, I actually did not take one shot at the super mutants as they were beating me around. I talked to Fox about the Gek and immediately headed over to release Fox from his prison. Now, I was scared to turn around as well. That all the super mutants that we ran past immediately followed us into the experimental chamber area. I was trying to maneuver just so I could sneak past, so that way I could talk to Fox and be near Fox so he can help take them out. Oh boy, if I ever do a no damage run, this will be so much fun if this happens again. While maneuvering around, we actually did die. The very first time we died throughout this entire run, which does suck. I did repeat and immediately freed Fox, as the super mutants did not follow us this time. After freeing Fox, we got the Gek and got flashbanged by, well, you know, Colonel Autumn. We have come to, well, Colonel Autumn trying to interrogate us, as we definitely told him some very pleasant words of how we really felt about him. Luckily, President Eden was definitely listening in and told him to basically go away. President Eden talked to us for a little bit and told us that he wanted to meet us face to face. After releasing us, if he ever does, it takes so long for him. Released us and we actually grabbed our items and leveled up, putting all of our perks into small guns and talking to Eden. After talking to Eden, we actually did accidentally agree to do the virus, as our speech was not high enough to overcome that obstacle. I did try to tell him to blow up, and he told me no. I immediately started heading out of Raven's Rock, and thankfully we had the robots here to help us out, as our BB gun does nothing really to the Enclave soldiers. And plus I wanted to feel like I was useful for once. After leaving Raven's Rock, we did manage to find, well, Fox. He was sitting there playing with his new gun, shooting up the Enclave soldiers who have kidnapped us. Now that is a true friend. We immediately head back to Sanctuary and listen to a long dialogue between Rothschild, Elder Lions, and Sarah, as they were all talking about the mission. We informed Elder Lions that we did not have to get, that the Enclave had it. After listening to Sarah pleading that we do take on the fight to take over the Jefferson Memorial, right back. I did actually drop all the items that they gave me, as I will not be needing any of them. As the only items that we will be using is, once again, the BB gun and, well, the Armored Vault 101 suit. After heading there, we started watching, well, Liberty Prime do his thing, as he's throwing his nukes around and lots of explosions, to be honest. One thing that I will state that I was noticing was a lot of tearing and rubber banding that I was noticing just from the explosions. Well, that's just this game how it is. Definitely don't think that it was a smart idea to have all of the Brotherhood still follow somebody with a toy gun into battle. Definitely not a smart call on their side. After watching Liberty Prime take out the fence, we immediately headed into Jefferson Memorial. I did just let Elder Lions take out all the work, as, well, we're not really to do much. She kept getting stuck on this door. Having no healing supplies at this moment and a very weak gun and barely any ammo, this was definitely going to be a long one. Sarah kept getting trapped onto items and locking herself from moving. I did try to do my best, but I was no help throughout this final fight. After she took them all on, we immediately started heading into, well, we immediately headed into the memorial, and I left Sarah to take on Colonel Autumn, and his 2 Enclave soldiers. While that was going on, we immediately finished up and talked to Sarah as she was deciding who was going to do it, and we did the right choice going in and punching in the code. Now, this challenge run was definitely a hard one and took very long time to actually finish up just the gameplay. As, honestly, it was pretty difficult. The difficulty was normal, and it was just very hard to play with that weak of a weapon and only using the Vault 101 armored suit. But, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next.
Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home, on my own, in the zone. That's the only